pack your life into boxes again. New country, new language, new walls to make into a home. You have 3 years, then do it all over again. For most people, and certainly people like me, this would break them. But some rare souls, they use it to build something extraordinary. Welcome, I'm your host Archana, and today's guest is someone who defies simple description. So let me take a deep breath and say it about her now. She is none other than Dr. Anupama Trigunayat. She's an eminent abstract artist whose work has been exhibited from London to Peru, the Philippines to Libya. Her list of honors reads like a who's who of art recognition: the Indian Icon Artist Award 2025, BM Art Gallery's M.F. Hussain Award, the Picasso Award, Lifetime Achievement Global Star Artist Award, the Manikarnika Power of Women Gold Award, the WAF Visionary Art Award, honors from the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Foundation, including the Kalam Memorial Best Abstract Artist Award. She received Raja Ravi Verma Artist of the Year, the Amrita Shergill Award, listed among India's most admired top 50 women, the International Proud Womania Award, Global Art Icon Award, and over 30 major recognitions in total. I need to take a break after this. But here's what makes her so fascinating. She's completely self-taught. For 3 decades, she's created abstract art that people describe as therapeutic and transcendent, paintings that explode with bright colors and brooding depth simultaneously. We are sitting right now under a painting done by her only. Born into a civil servant's family, she spent her childhood moving across India. She studied English literature, trained in Kathak and classical singing. She married a man who became India's ambassador to multiple nations. More movement, more transitions, more homes created and left behind. During those years, she taught children in international schools for 22 years, promoted Indian art abroad, became a Reiki grandmaster, wrote books on early childhood learning, education rather in specific, and somehow found time to feed 50 stray dogs during COVID, when all of us were stuck inside our homes. She is former president of the UNESCO Club of Art in Greece, international chief advisor for art and culture at OSS Films, and a firm believer that art has no borders, just freedom and unity. So, naming this beautiful episode that's just going to start now on who she is and what she's been doing: Colors Without Borders, a life painted across continents and consciousness. Welcome, Dr. Anupama Trigunayat.
Thank you.
Thank you
Such a
so much,
pleasure.
ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to interview you
Thank you.
today. It's not an interview, sorry. It's a discussion we're going to have on
Thank you
her
very
life,
much.
on her journey.
Thank you.
So let me just begin with your childhood. Your father was a civil servant, as you shared with me. Your husband became an ambassador later. It was a very structured life, this kind of life.
Yes, it was.
And yet, you chose abstract art, which has no structure, no
Yeah,
format,
probably. Probably I wanted to work without structure for a change, and it just came. I mean, when I started my work and I started to paint, and which was years back, and even as a young student, I used to paint. I never thought so. It was not really discipline that I'm going to, draw this angle here and that angle here. I just kind of played with my instinct and then let it go. And I think abstraction for me is the best exploration of whatever you want to experiment.
When
And
did art happen in your life, actually?
okay, it's very interesting because now it's different on what you want to call art. If it is art for you, that what I paint on the canvas,
Yeah.
it started, when I used to just paint for fun on papers, either experiment with watercolors or with acrylics or anything experimental. And I even tried my stint with sketching, which I thought was not my cup of tea, so I kind of didn't I didn't like it myself. But And in fact, I always share this, whoever asks me, you're talking about structure, and if you give me, I was never good at structured art, like you draw portraits or you draw a
Yeah.
line. And I always respect and I envy people who can do that. There's some people who you're sitting and they can draw you,
Oh yeah.
but that's
That,
different.
of
That
course, yeah.
that's an amazing
Yeah,
art.
that's
But
amazing
I
art.
couldn't do it, so I kind of found my path into art by using my imagination and probably translating it into colors, into strokes on paper, whatever I wanted to, and interpret it in my way. However, when I started, when I seriously started doing the work or painting, then of course, your art is interpreted in different ways, and that's the beauty of abstraction. And the beauty, I think, abstraction is an abstract piece of work is so it's an open field for interpretation.
Yeah.
You can you can, for you it may be something else, for me it's something else, and for third person it's something else, and that's where a story evolves. That's what I think. So I really don't put too many conditions and thoughts. I just work with my instinct.
I also read that you were a trained Kathak dancer. Because even I have learned Kathak
Oh
as a
really?
child for 4 years.
Oh lovely.
But you've been trained in Kathak. You have performed also somewhere?
No, not no. And that's the reason I kind of no, I haven't performed, but I have learned Kathak. I have a degree in Visharad, what they call, in this thing. And I remember practicing for 2 to 3 hours. I mean, I loved it. It was my passion. But my father was not very happy that I should perform. So
Okay.
then I said, forget it. Then I kind of gave up, and then also then I started exploring all this art and things like, just. But yes, I loved Kathak. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Even
So
classical singing was one of the things that you.
yes, I have done classical singing. I have a yes, I have. I have. I don't have a degree, but I had it till at certain level, and I could sing at one time. Don't
Wow.
ask me to do that today. I can't.
No, I will, but later. No, and that's really beautiful. I think in our times when we were young, parents were really, these were the kind of hobbies, dancing and
Yeah,
painting
yeah,
and everything. They're
yeah,
all form of art
yeah,
only,
yeah, yeah.
all forms of
All
art only.
forms are art. So I mean, art. If like coming back to your question, when did art happen? It just happened with everything together.
Yeah,
By the time I went to my colors and the canvas, that was another part of art. Music is art. You know, Kathak is a performing art. I have also done, I think probably, I have not mentioned that, but I have acted. I used to do a lot of acting
oh
in my
wow.
university and college days. And I remember I I had my most memorable one was when I think I was in first year college or something. We did this something called Dr. Faustus, if you've heard about this play. And I
Yeah,
was Dr. Faustus, the main protagonist. And
okay.
and I thought I did quite a good job because I got the award for it. So art has been kind of a part of me in
From a
different
long,
ways
in different ways.
till I decided, till probably this path found me and I found the painting, you know.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Even your house is like a piece of art, if I may say
Thank
that.
you. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
That I think you taken from your mom, you said.
Yes, my mother, as a child, I always remember beautiful flower bouquets on different sides, spick and span, beautifully, manicured, like well done house. And when you grow up into that, you are used, you get used to that kind of a thing. And probably as generations change, you're different and more probably this thing from your mother. Like my daughter is 100 times more than I am.
That happens,
She
yes.
she does her house, keeps her home beautifully, you know and it depends on how the taste changes. Like my mother in her times, me in my times, and then of course my way of keeping the house or whatever I did. I'm sure everybody loves to keep the house. It's just their own way,
Yeah.
but it's just that some people are more involved in the house. And so I used to take lot I used to take a lot of pride, and I take even now doing even a little corner. And then I remembered, I had little phases that I want to do this and then I want to do that. You want to change.
Yeah.
So it's this is again art. I mean, it depends how one interprets it. But yes, I mean, I have been very, I am a colorful person. I like bright colors. I'm wearing one. My paintings are very bright,
Yeah, they all are, yes.
and like, but yeah, I mean,
But you were
you
never
can.
formally trained for
No, I
painting.
don't have a degree, and I don't have any training in like a formal training. No, I just went with my instinct, and I think it's just God's blessing that it came. For me, it's a miracle. If my ICSE teacher anywhere, if he sees that I've got these awards and I'm an artist, I'm this, I'm sure he will just, God bless him wherever he is. I will not say anything more, because I remember in my ICSE I had to draw a piece of a work where these little figurines were holding hands. I still remember, and dancing. Now I can do anything with my brush. I can't do. I mean, I couldn't do anything at that time with my pencil. So those days we were allowed. So they used to say you draw one part and then you trace on the other. That was a complication of that structured art at that time. And when that happened, something just I just kind of thought this is not my cup of tea. And that's when I probably took more. I don't remember so much now, but that's the time I think I took more to brushes and colors and I mean it was just crazy. I used to love splashing, praying, and then I slowly started
So
creating.
normally on canvas also, because I've also done a few, like anybody
Mm.
does a little bit painting. I've also done a little bit, but you always draw something on the canvas and then you start painting. At least that's what I have kind of done. So you don't use a pencil at all. It's all through the brush.
No, I don't use a pencil at all.
Wow.
Now, sometimes, after so many, many years, I might just do little, very rarely. I don't. I like, if somebody would ask me that if you're standing in front of your canvas to begin with, I will be thinking, okay, this is my plan, this is what I'm going to do. But then actually, when I'm there, I'm just blank. And I go with my instinct, and then slowly, the stories build, the pictures build, and then, it's the whole process of getting there, which is very, very interesting. I used to, if I may add at this point, when I used to teach, like you have mentioned, I taught
Yeah.
for almost 22 years abroad. I used to teach, and I remember the artwork of my children, because I was uh, I was doing everything with the children as class teacher and the thing. So uh, their art was outstanding, and I think the most important reason it was outstanding was that as a teacher, I gave them a theme initially, like and then I let them do how they want.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting that it could be a circle drawn by a child, but how the child is interpreting it. So I gave them the freedom to just look at what you have drawn and tell me what it is, what you think, right? And that somewhere was my thought process, that I'm doing what I'm doing. For you, this painting may be anything else,
Yeah.
the one in front of us, but for me, it it is aroma, it is fragrance coming out.
Oh.
For a third person, somebody told me, I can see a shriveling there. It's amazing. You see, it's never this. So abstract art, I think, gives any form of art is just beautiful, But I think when it's like freelancing and on the canvas. Let's put it this way, that it's a freelance you're doing, and you are just kind of experimenting and doing, and then you're producing something. And one thing horrible about all artists, I'm sure, especially people like me who do a lot of this abstraction and all this contemporary, modern, whatever you want to call it, that you keep looking at it, and each time you look at it, you just feel it's not finished. So there's a saying by somebody very famous. They said, the artists never completely complete their painting, but they really have to abandon it to go on to the next one. Otherwise, you can really not. And I do it.
Wow.
Sometimes I just put my canvas which is done. I don't want to see it again, because each time you go, I get an idea, and then doing so, you can somehow stress that, the painting can become stressful at times if you do too much. you know like I remember one of my paintings, I don't remember which one, and my daughter, who is my best critique of
Oh,
my
yeah. Come
work,
on, please tell me more about it. Daughters are
and
like
she
that.
no when she loves it. But she told me about one of my paintings. She said, Mom, I love it, but I think it's very stressful. And I actually got her point. She's right, because I kept on going back to the point that I stretched it to a point. It looks beautiful, but yeah, there is a journey behind it. So the whole point is the whole journey, step by step, experimentation, exploration. You use your instinct. I just feel God is great and I'm able to do it. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, I know. Any form
Yeah,
of art, I think, is
yeah.
कहते हैं भगवान की देन है वो, no?
Bhagwan, it is really Bhagwan
Really,
ki den.
yeah, completely. Okay, now talking about your life in motion, you've like first with your father and then with your husband, you've kind of moved and
You don't
moved and
mind if
moved.
I take water, because
Not at all.
I just drink a lot of water being diabetic.
It's good. Keeping ourselves hydrated is very important these days.
Mhm.
Everybody is talking about it. So good that you're doing that. So you took complete pride, as you said, in your creating new spaces, creating new homes. But for me, it feels like a complete zen. Complete investment on one side in the house, and then complete detachment from that house.
I know what you mean. Yeah. So now, I was used to moving from childhood. Every 3 years, we moved around wherever, whichever area my father was posted in,
Yeah.
And the same thing happened when I married my husband. We were in a new country every 3 years, as long as we were, or whether you're here, but every 3 years you're in a new home. So you actually start your house every 3 years, you redo everything. And it's interesting how sometimes some things can be same, but then you get better. It's just a very interesting way of, I enjoyed it, to say the least. I enjoyed the fact that I liked it. It could be very tiring and very cumbersome at times,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're in a difficult country or whatever. But it was just nice to do different things with your own stuff, what you carry, and how in each house you can display or you can put them and make a home in a different style altogether all the time. So I think it's just a lot of people may not, but I liked it. Mm, I loved it. You know,
But when you
can't
were
complain
moving,
really.
that's so nice. When you were moving so many places, you were also teaching at that point of time.
Mhm.
So how were you able to, give stability to those students or those kids that you were teaching?
Okay, no. So now I must correct you. I mean, I must just clarify on that. As we were moving 3 years, right? So obviously, I would quit my job
Yeah,
in that,
yeah.
and then I would go to the next posting, take my time, do my house, take my, whatever if I want. If I get a job, it's fine. If I don't, I'm very happy, but doing things. But then every time I did in the international school, and I used to make sure, close to my daughter wherever. And so this, that each year you are with a different, each year in a country where you are posted in the international school, your class changes, right?
Okay,
It's not that if I'm teaching class 2 or year 2 or 11th or whatever, that I'm going to be with them for the next 3 years. It would change every year,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So you end up teaching or working with, I would rather say, with so many youngsters, and like I have done, that it's an experience.
Of course.
So and each school and each institution in each country has a different environment, because it is definitely uh, it is, the local culture, the country that school is or you're posted in, their culture, the local traditions, or forget that, the local mannerisms, or the society or the system. You do find traces of that in each school or each institution. The same things can be done in 10 different ways in 10 different zones or countries, but you're doing the same thing. So I think that's wonderful,
Yeah.
because you can put the same thing. I mean, you have the same material, but it's how you can use it in a different way. So it's a constant learning.
And with kids, I think especially with the younger kids, you
Amazing,
learn so much.
amazing, amazing.
They're full of energy and
Yeah.
so
And when
much.
they come, they used to call me Mrs. T. And I remember when we were in
Mrs. T.
Mrs. T,
Okay.
because 𝗔𝗿 is too long.
Too long
So
for
my
them.
room used to be, I was eternally Mrs. T as long as I was working in all countries. So Mrs. T, and they would come hugging, hi Mrs. T, and that makes your day.
I
You
know.
know, it's just, I enjoyed working with young children a lot, a lot. Sometimes I miss it, but I don't think I can do it now. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like yesterday, I was at an event and there was a lady who's also had taught kids at a certain point. And they said, the moment you enter the classroom, it's like a melody.
It's a melody, you're right.
They suddenly they'll stand up and say, "Good morning, ma'am." Even that becomes like a chorus and things. It's like really, it's just a very, we feel good factor when the kids are around.
Yeah, I mean, there outside is not really good morning, whatever.
Yeah, there's a different type of
Yeah, but it's different. It's like everybody's coming. Hi, Mrs. T. Good morning, Mrs. T. Can I have a hug? You know, hug time. This, so it's just, it's very interesting. Yeah.
But moving so many countries, each country leaves its mark. You
Yeah.
said Peru, Philippines, Hungary, London,
No,
not Jordan,
these are all the
Libya.
exhibitions. Some of
Okay,
them, physically, I was there in some. In some, my paintings were sent.
okay,
And
you were
I
not
went.
there
No,
on
and
that.
I went for
Okay,
some were sent. But this is what where the exhibition was, the work was exhibited.
okay.
So in some physically I was there, in some the work was sent because they wanted it.
Oh,
Then they
nice.
wanted me to send it.
So,
That's
in the
how.
countries that you have kind of lived, which country has kind of made an impact on you,
We've lived in so many countries, but I think each country is special.
especially?
I wouldn't. My husband and I, and I think so goes for our daughter. We have one daughter. That we had a good time everywhere. Of course, certain countries were stressful with the situation locally in them, and I would not,
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
but yes, I'm grateful that I had a great time in all, and each country had offered, they offer so much that sometimes it's difficult to assimilate how much and what it is. But yes, we enjoyed, and I think I also find traces of these different where you live. Sometimes I find some traces somewhere in some of my works.
yeah. I was
Depends.
just going to ask you,
Yeah,
has your
yeah,
art been impacted by that?
yeah. Sometimes,
Sometimes it
yeah,
has.
yeah. Like I was in when we were in Libya, and we had gone there after, in very difficult times, and mm, I remember one, the impressions which I can never forget are the expressions in the eyes of the people. So I remember I had painted, it's no longer with me, it's been gone in one of the exhibitions, that I had just done eyes with different expressions. And it was so strange that when I was doing the eyes, it's not perfection, it is just expressions. And you could, through the eyes you can sense the fear, the terror, the pain, the sadness, the confusion, the darkness,
Wow, so much.
or hope, or happiness, anything. So, and I thought, so it does has an impact. And that is just one small example, but that it does affect you.
I think you grow as an individual, so your
Yeah, you
art
grow,
form also.
and even as an you grow as an individual, and your journey in whatever profession you take,
Yeah,
or whatever passion you take,
yeah.
I think it evolves, and it's a constant learning and a constant growing up, if I may say so. So
True. So that impacts your
yeah,
anything
yeah,
that you do in life.
yeah,
Art is,
yeah,
of course,
yeah,
more visible, I think, to anybody
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
So beautiful. So let now getting back to the favorite question that I wanted to ask you. Your life as an ambassador's wife.
Okay, interesting. Or a diplomat's wife. But,
Yeah,
interesting, definitely, of course, it's interesting, it's challenging, it's
yeah,
it's a lot of work. A lot of people think that back home or here, foreign service, I think everybody works hard
of course.
in every job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everybody
Nothing
is
comes
this,
easy.
and
Never.
nothing comes easy to
Yeah,
anybody. And But I, as a spouse of an ambassador when my husband was, or as a young diplomat to the time till he became, I think I was just very active and I enjoyed every bit of it. There are responsibilities once, as the spouse of the
Yeah,
ambassador,
yeah.
and you are so involved in the community, you're involved in promoting, you know, India. We represent our country. So in any which way you do that, excuse me,
I think with your
and
art also you were doing that.
that was different. That was on my personal, but I'm just, now that you've asked me the
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
So like for example, in one of the postings, you kind of end up heading few organizations, clubs. I mean, it's a very good exposure. And
Mm.
if you're really active and if you really are willing, you can really do wonders on promoting your country. And I think I really enjoyed doing that in all my postings and in all my with my husband, his posting, that I was there and we were there together. So I think I had a great time, and I enjoyed the privilege as well as the kind of, I'm grateful that I was able to be supportive in his job in a way I could, which was my role as a spouse.
Yeah,
you know and of course it's very interesting because you also meet so many people.
of course.
You meet so many people, and that it's, I think, diplomatic life has a lot of hassles, has a lot of stress, but it also is a fantastic experience because you just meet the world wherever you are. As a young spouse to wherever, till whatever you retire, you meet so many people, you learn so much, and you see so much of the world. And
Traveling
I
in
think,
itself
yeah,
is,
and that's a journey which also you kind of grow, you know I mean, so I think life is just a constant growing up for me, even till now. Yeah.
that's so beautiful.
So we really, I really I enjoyed, and I'm grateful that I could do what we did, and in all countries in a very little humble way. But yes, I tried.
I've not seen the diplomats' families' journeys, but I've seen a lot of army people and navy people
Yeah.
actually their journeys. So it's very interesting. Their food becomes really a very strong part of.
Food.
Yeah,
The food is very important in foreign service.
yeah.
I will tell you an example. When I got married to my husband, I didn't know how to cook. And I was like, oh my God. And I still remember the first day when wherever we were for our posting, and I remember he went to office. And that time I remember we were somewhere in Africa. And then it took me from morning 8 o'clock till 1 o'clock to make one dal and one, that paneer I will never forget. And I was like exhausted. But then when and when you start going out and people are just producing these fabulous meals, and then I realized, Anu Trigunayat, you better get your act together, and you have to.
You have
You
to.
have to. My mother used to tell me, I really never had to, so I never did. But then my mother at some time said, वो कहते हैं ना कि जब सर पे पड़ती है तो फिर खुद आ जाता
I
है.
know.
The same thing I said, and the same thing I tell, for my daughter, even though, she's in a different line altogether. That's different. But she can also feed. But, once it's on you, you learn it. So that's how I learned. And then I enjoyed cooking after some time. Yeah.
Yeah, even like
But
was
not anymore.
not
Not
anymore.
now. None. I mean, I will do it if I have to.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I can never. I mean, I would love. I love cooking for my daughter, cooking for my family. And but yeah, I think I've done so much. That sometimes in our foreign service, this is one more thing. We keep laughing among spouses and wives. I said, that each country, because you have to entertain so much, you meet so many
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
That is one meal after the other. It's just a part of you. So you're right. Like the army, the food is very important.
Very important.
I think not only the way to man's heart is through the stomach. I think the way to get good diplomacy is also through the stomach.
Stomach only.
And that's what I think is my personal view. I may be wrong,
No, no, but that
excuse
is,
me for it,
yeah.
but yeah. So
Socializing, meeting people, entertaining them,
yeah, it's
food
interesting, it's
is the
lovely,
integral part.
and sometimes you make friends for life, like we
Yeah,
have,
yeah, I'm
it's,
sure.
it's lovely. Yeah. So
Beautiful, beautiful. And, to promote your art, the other day you were telling me that you've learned all the social media on your own.
yeah,
You
I
know,
had to, I had no choice.
the Instagram and LinkedIn and everywhere.
Yeah, I'm yeah, yes. I did with Facebook, and then I can work. I mean, I learned, I had to educate myself on Canva and this and that, because I also curated a lot of online exhibitions, for artists and stuff. So I love doing that, actually. I'm pretty okay with it. I may not be, for youngsters like my daughter or your daughter or somebody, I may be not great, because they are amazing.
Of course they are.
If
They
they are
are.
right on their top.
Yeah.
But even if I'm here, I can manage to do it nice and colorful. I'm happy with it. But yeah. And then, of course, when I don't get it, then I have my nephew and my daughter, they'll polish it and then help me out. Yeah.
Art, I feel any form of art is also therapeutic. Has it been like that for
Extremely
you?
therapeutic. At extremely.
You felt it like, did it start from there? Like you felt low or you felt like that it started that journey?
No, you mean when I feel low, I paint? That's what's.
No, how did the journey start in the sense? Was it some moment like that you were just wanting to,
No, art started as fun.
as fun for
But
you?
over the years, as you grow old and as you realize and as you become mature, you feel that it is also a healer.
A healer.
You know, like people who, when you play, like my husband always says, he said, when he's playing golf, you just forget the world. Now, when you forget the world, you forget your problems, your highs, your lows, everything. You just have to concentrate on that ball, that it is hit and it has to go to the right spot, right? The golfers or cricketers or
Of
anyone.
course, of
The
course.
same thing goes for me as an artist, or as a painter when I paint. It's just that when colors start healing you, in the sense not that you are damaged, that you are healed, but it's just that it calms you down.
Yeah,
You'll be surprised that it is so weird and strange, or maybe it happens to a lot of people, that you will start, suppose I start and okay, I'm going to start with a black, right? A black as a very strong color to use or whatever. And then slowly, by the time you're getting into it, not only the choice of your colors change, you the strokes and that whole feeling of creating something
your
just
mindset is,
calms you down,
yeah,
changes your mindset. But that does not mean I'm starting at a very angry or a low or a sad or a high
of
note.
course.
I'm just painting, and when I'm on that canvas, and in my studio, I actually forget everything. I'm the only thing I never forget is the music behind. Some music I always play when I'm working. Even now, sometimes when I'm alone in the house doing my stuff here, there, the music is playing in any form. I'm very fond of Indian music, but yeah, right.
With the background of classical singing,
Yeah,
so
yeah, but like I normal Bollywood songs here, there, whatever. I just something has to play,
what
and I
about
do
your
it.
love for animals, especially dogs?
Oh man, I'm crazy. You must ask more to my husband than me. You
Oh,
know.
really? He's also into dogs?
No, no, he loves dogs, but I think he thinks that sometimes my daughter and I have nothing else to talk except dogs. So when we are talking, on a video call or something, he suddenly decides that he will slouch down and kind of try to sleep. And my daughter is like, Dad, you're sleeping. And sometimes he has to say, he said, because you just are talking about animals and dogs. But yes, we love dogs. He's an animal lover too. But yeah, I love dogs. And I'm crazily and madly in love with dogs. But at the same time, I grew up with them. We always had a pet, and everything. And you mentioned about COVID.
COVID, and that was a tough time,
It was
especially.
just very hard. And I have this friend, and we have a common friend.
Yeah,
You know, so
Neelam
she
Parwani.
Neelam Parwani, and that's how I met her. And we used to cook, and she used to go, and but we just kind of worked together. and we did what we could. But yeah, it is just nice to me. Dogs are a therapy. All animals are therapy, but dogs have their way of. They are stress busters.
Oh yes, they are. No,
They are the
they
greatest
are eyes
stress
only.
busters.
I just lost my baby also some time
I
back.
remember that. Yeah.
And how he came to know, sometimes he just come to me and he realize that I'm not up to it. Just put his face on my lap or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
They come to know.
yeah.
It's so beautiful how they
Yeah.
do without speaking, without talking to you. They know it all, and the eyes speak. The eyes
Oh, they talk.
speak. They tell you everything. They tell you
I
everything.
so beautiful. But yeah, I love dogs. I mean, some people find it funny, but I can actually have a nice conversation with even with a stray. I can talk. I just love them. Not that I mean, one has to be very, of course, sensible about it.
Of course.
You cannot just go yourself and throw yourself into crazy lot of any animal for that matter.
And for that matter, anything in life.
Yeah, for that matter. But like, yes, they can connect, and I can connect. Yeah.
So I mentioned so many awards in the beginning that you've got, and I'm sorry I would have missed many of them also.
Yeah, yeah.
But when that journey started, like, what was that feeling of getting awards on the work that you have done? It's like,
I was grateful to God
I'm sure,
because I never
of
thought.
course, yeah.
And when I look at my awards, sometimes I also wonder, did I really get them? And I think just gratitude. And of course, the happiness, and you feel happy that your work is recognized. People like you, like, um, I mean, I've just always had gratitude. Nothing else. Nothing else, just gratitude.
With so many awards, it's so beautiful. So many
Thank you.
achievements. It's like
Thank you.
amazing, amazing. And you played so many multiple roles. Your mother and wife. Anyway, that's a
Yeah.
woman's role: educator, artist, healer, and then author, animal lover, art creator. Which identity you feel is like the closest to you? Which like you enjoy the most?
Being a wife and being a mother. That's the best.
That's the best.
That's my word. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I can truly second that. I always say that, probably I was born to become mother to my kids, to my girls,
Yeah, yeah.
that
My
the
daughter
kind of
might
happiness
disagree, but yes, I love being a mom. All moms do.
all moms do. I know.
Yeah.
So other day when I had met you and seen all the paintings that you had made, I was kind of looking at them and seeing, as I say, everybody sees what they have to see in a
Yeah.
painting. But when somebody is looking at your painting, your creation, what do you internally are feeling? Like,
Okay. Now the first years back, if somebody would look, I would be like, oh my God, I don't know what I've done.
yeah,
Like then eventually I know what I have done. It's what I like, whether they like it or not.
yeah.
But if you think that I feel anything if somebody is looking, no, I don't. I just feel that hope they like it. And the one thing that interests me is how they interpret it. And over the years, what I have learned is the different interpretations, different thought process, other than what I had when I made it or
Yeah,
what I have.
yeah.
For example, if I have a title to a painting, I would have thought of something, right?
You give titles to all your
Yeah,
paintings?
all my paintings are titled.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
yes. That's why I said this is aroma. I forget now, there are quite a few, and I write them down. Having an exhibition is quite a lot of work. Huh? It's very tiring. So I do title my paintings, and I like to title. And then I have started doing it that if I'm putting an X title, then I will put 4 lines somewhere. I have a diary there. Why this is X? Because three years down the line or 10 years, you will forget
You'll
why you
forget
did
it.
it,
You'll forget it. Yeah.
and then you might change it. And I do that sometimes. Like the other 2 years back or something, I had an exhibition or something, and I had 4 paintings which were like I carried through, and then that painting was made about 5 6 years back, and I had a title, and then when I looked at it at that time, I kind of my mind changed, so I changed it, and I changed the interpretation. See, that's the beauty of an abstract free art. You can do what you want.
Yeah, because the structure is not there.
The structure is not there.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm, yeah, but I mean, even the structured art has beauty, you know. Every art is beautiful.
If you could just tell your younger self, so many years back, you look back in your younger self, the woman picking up the first paintbrush in her hand, what would you like to tell her? That little girl who probably did it the first time.
You did something right, my dear. That you are here today. But yes, a little girl at that time. I'm happy I did it, and I'm happy she did it.
I
That
know,
little
I
girl
know, that little girl did it.
or the young girl, not a little but a young girl, and that I could do what I do today.
Yeah.
Because if that young girl had not experimented, then I wouldn't be here today. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's right.
confidence is important. The confidence, and this is very, for me, confidence is very, very absolute must in everything. I used to debate a lot as a student, but I never had a stage fright or something. No, but it was the confidence, and I think that came from my mother. When
Okay.
yeah, she would call a spade a spade. She was very, and she would always um, encourage, you know, and always kind of explain things very clearly. Excuse me, and I think that came from my mother and the encouragement. Yeah.
You know, these things in school, like you said, debates and all,
Yeah,
are
I've done
important
lots
for
of them.
all kids to participate. I feel, you know, that takes away the fright, you know, and
In
gives a
our
lot of
time,
confidence.
yeah,
Yeah,
in our times, I mean,
yeah,
when we were in school,
yeah.
I remember it was in 11, I don't know which grade it was. And somebody said, there was this box, and he said it's extempore. You have to, you just have to go and speak, and you have to speak for 5 minutes. And then, sorry, my throat is also a little. And then I picked up, and the slip, guess what it came? It said library. I had the whole auditorium, whatever, in splits,
Oh,
because library speak for 5 minutes. I started counting the subjects, what books there are, and people thought it's a very smart. I'm talking like it was on a very light note.
yeah.
And I won the competition because nobody could think that in library to speak for not even 5-8 minutes, you explain what is there, and then you still have 5-6 minutes, and you really are looking in your head what to talk. So I thought, okay, let's count what all subjects, this, that, x to x, y, z. It was hilarious. I mean, I'll never forget it because everybody was in splits, everyone. But yeah, I enjoyed speaking. I don't have a really, I don't get stressed.
Wonderful,
No.
wonderful. I think last and a very important thing that I would like to ask you is for everyone listening who feels stuck in their circumstances, you know, don't want to pursue their passion like you had. Um, you were managing a diplomatic life, being a wife, being a mother to your daughter, moving, teaching, painting,
Yeah.
representing India on many platforms. So you were juggling with so many things. What is there a message that you would like to tell people, you know, who are stuck, probably, you know, not able to choose and decide what to do in life?
Not able to choose.
Not able to choose.
See, personally, I really never made any choices. My priorities were very clear.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, they were very clear.
Yeah.
That that the first most important thing is, my family, my husband and my child, right? And the rest, everything comes after that. And I think today, what can you tell for today's youngsters or anybody? They're so in the line, in the path, to the point that like sometimes they overdo it so much that they probably get burnt out very fast. But I think just enjoy and love what you do. Be who you are,
Yeah.
and don't just it's very important to have a comfortable, safe life, but stay safe and choose what just do what you want to do, and be happy and be content. That's very important. Self-satisfaction and contentment, I think,
Most important.
is most important. Is most important in any field, in life, in profession, in relationships, in
Because I think nobody judges us. We are judging ourselves and
exactly,
correcting
and putting so much pressure
pressure
on
on
ourselves.
ourselves. So
So really, it's not required,
yeah,
and it's not required in anything. Whether it's, I mean, I understand jobs can be high pressure. I see my daughter. They're all
she's
working.
an artist also.
She's very artistic,
Okay.
but she's not an artist as she paints. She's not tried. Maybe she is,
Yeah.
because her work is more into, she's a management consultant, so it's a different line altogether. It's a very high
Absolutely.
pressured, very lot of work, very very active work of line. So sometimes, one has to really make an effort to have. The one thing I would want to tell them is to have a work life balance. It's important.
It's important.
It's important, you know.
So good. So let's make it a little fun now with a
Okay.
little rapid fire round.
Okay. It's
No?
like as if I'm sitting in Coffee with Karan.
Oh,
Rapid
yes,
fire.
yes. So that's the inspiration somewhere is coming
Yes,
from.
yes, it's become
But
very,
it doesn't
very.
need to
Yeah,
be one word answers. Answers can be long or short, but
Yeah.
whatever comes to your mind.
Yeah.
A country that left its color on you.
My own India.
Oh. Actually, India
My
is
own.
full of
My own.
colors
Yes,
and warmth and
yes,
so much
yes.
more. Does applause still excite you, or is peace a better reward?
Peace. Peace.
Peace. Now, after so many awards, I'm
Yeah,
sure
peace.
you
Yeah.
another award won't make a difference.
I'm very grateful, but yes, peace, and
Peace is the
above all,
most important.
peace / contentment, happiness, satisfaction.
Yeah, absolutely. One rule you choose to break every day.
Oh my God, I choose to break so many every day. Oh God, that's a difficult one. Not a difficult one. What can I say? That I will, actually at this age, I mean, and now I'm just so, in my own thing and in my own head, that I really honestly don't care whether I'm breaking a rule or making a rule.
You do
I'm just there.
what
I
pleases
just
you.
do what pleases me.
And that's how it should be.
And yeah, I think.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
A word that describes this season of your life.
This season of my life? Gratitude.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Gratitude.
Now, this one is especially for you. When you stand before a blank canvas, well, we've spoken about it right now, what do you feel first?
The first thing what I feel, actually on a blank canvas, I'm blank looking at it. It's true. When I'm standing in front of a canvas and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to my studio, I'm just blank for a few seconds. That blank there on the canvas and blank in my head, they work very well together, and then things happen.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if I may request you to sing a few lines.
Oh my God.
From a favorite Bollywood song that you probably paint best to.
I actually don't remember. I just keep playing. I can't sing, but.
Of course you can sing, but at least a few lines.
What kind? Tell me some songs. I don't know.
Any song that inspires you while you're painting?
No, music generally is mine. Like, it's just there. Music works very well with your senses and your nerves and your environment when you're working.
Yeah.
I'm digressing a bit, but there are artists, who, as the music goes, the strokes work. It happens to me sometimes, but not all the time. But yeah, I think what I love best when I'm painting and what I can't sing is simple Brahms Silas instrumental Bollywood music which plays in the backdrop
He's
when I'm working.
beautiful.
And that, because that's very peaceful and quiet and all. And of course, my all-time favorite is Lata Mangeshkar. And there are so many songs. And there used to be a very old ghazal which I used to sing long back, which I can't. रहते थे कभी जिनके दिल में, हम जान से भी प्यारों की तरह, बैठे हैं उन्हीं के कूचे पे, हम आज गुनहगारों की तरह. So I just read the lines for you, but my throat is like, yeah.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Really, it was really nice. But as you know, you would have all heard that she's lived a life in motion, yet found stillness in her art, which is unstructured, but there's still stillness in her art. She created homes knowing she'd leave them. She painted freedom within diplomatic structures. She taught herself what no school could teach. I think I'm going to give a message on your journey, what I've kind of felt is that boundaries are illusions.
Beautiful. You've said everything so beautifully.
Geographical borders, artistic conventions, and limitations we place on ourselves, none of it is real unless we'll make it so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for those beautiful, beautiful words. I never thought I could. It was so beautifully said. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. It's been an absolute pleasure and honor of knowing you and of talking to you today.
It's completely my pleasure. Completely.
Thank you.
And you know, it's not only the canvas where you paint. Life is also like a canvas.
Life is. I've said it in one of my interviews.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've read it somewhere. I've said it. Life is like a canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think each one of us just has to pick up our own brush and start painting our life.
Yes. Yes.
Beautifully with all the colors, with all the happiness.
Yeah.
So until next time, keep creating, keep breaking those invisible walls, keep breaking rules that make you happy.
Thank you.
And dream, please do dream. Not quietly, not safely. Dream in color, dream without permission, dream with courage. And ending on my own Bollywood style, a song that is very sweet. झिलमिल सितारों का आंगन होगा, रिमझिम बरसता सावन होगा, ऐसा सुंदर सपना अपना जीवन होगा. So here's wishing all of you a beautiful life. May you always be filled with color, courage, and quiet miracles. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep painting, keep coloring, and keep smiling.